Hey guys, Character here, back from hiatus with a new review. This time I'll be reviewing the BCR03 Kamen Rider Build HawkGatling form from Kamen Rider Build. This is the third entry in the Ball Change Rider series of interchangeable figures. This set includes two things, the figure itself and one accessory. So, let's get started. Here we have Kamen Rider Build HawkGatling form, so let's get started by taking a look at the figure. First things first, you can see that it's mainly orange and gray. Starting with the head, we can take a look at the details. You can see that for the TAKA half, it has an eye shaped like a hawk's head, and for the Gatling half, it's got one shaped like a Gatling gun. Getting down to the body, for the TAKA half, you can see a wing going off the shoulder here, then some feathers on the other shoulder here, whereas the rest of the arm resembles the arm of the rabbit body half. And for the Gatling half, the other arm is a lot more mechanical looking with a lot of details like those you'd see on a Gatling gun. And for its part of the chest, you can see an ammo belt. The other part of it is these wings on the back, which are a mix of both organic and mechanical, since they are meant to resemble hawk wings, but have a artificial look to them. Coming down to the belt, you can see that it's painted with the colors of the TAKA and Gatling full balls. And then we have the painted legs as well. So, getting to articulation. As a standard, it has no head or waist articulation. The arms move out this much. Rotate 360 degrees, though they are a little bit hindered by the wings, but you can move them out of the way using these hinges here. Has a bicep swivel, single joint elbows, wrist swivel, two finger joints, legs go forward and back, in and out, have a thigh joint, bend at the knee, and have ball joint ankles. Now one thing on mine that I think is probably a bit of QC is that they have this little identification number that was printed on top of the foot, but it probably is just a production error. As you can see, it's also printed here on the bottom, so yours probably won't look like this. For his accessory, he comes with the HawkGatlinger, molded in all orange, but you can see a lot of the nice details like the barrel and the hawk head, as well as the wings back here and all the detail on the trigger. And it was a little bit hollowed out on the back, but that's just to keep costs down. And of course, you can have him hold it in either hand using the finger joints. So, just like that. Being part of the Ball Change Rider series, it can obviously swap with the other figures in line, so I brought in the last figure, Gorillamon form, so that we can do a bit of mix and matching. So, for HawkGatling, you want to remove the wings. Then for both of them, you're going to take them apart at the waist, using a combination of the button back here, and pulling them apart. We'll do the same for Gorillamon. Then we'll switch them around, so we can get trial form TAKA Diamond, and trial form Gorilla Gatling. And if we bring in the rabbit tank figure, we can do even more swapping. So we can make trial forms like Rabbit Diamond, Gorilla Gatling, and TAKA Tank, or trial forms like Rabbit Gatling, Gorilla Tank, and TAKA Diamond. And herein is the big crux of the Ball-Shanked Rider series. The fact that as you get more and more figures, you get more and more combinations. And you have some freedom to do with them as you like. You can either swap a couple of them and keep some of them as the best match, or swap them all around and make a bunch of different new combinations. Though, getting to these forms does unfortunately point out a small flaw in regards to the other bodies, in that within the series, from what I've seen, it's pretty much established that for anybody with the TAKA half, or for any trial form with TAKA half, it's supposed to get these wings. The only problem is that for any back half that's not Gatling, they don't have the corresponding holes, at least not, not two of them. Or rather, not at all. You can see that for this, you have two holes that are connected to the Gatling half, then the third that's connected to the TAKA half. But if you look at here, we can see we have none of these, and that is a bit of an oversight, though it might have been miscommunication between the production company and the toy maker. That being said, it doesn't change the fact that you can still make all these combinations quite easily and very simply switch them around. In a way, it's similar to the O's Combo Change series or the Devil Form Change series, in that those were easy to take apart and switch around, and I think the same kind of appeal applies here. And there we go. So, not only is HawkGatling form a cool figure on its own, but with this added to our last two figures, this is where we get to the main appeal of the BCR series. And to show you, you get a lot of possible combinations with just 3 figures. To be specific, you get 9 total, and that's for any 3 figures. And that's because the way it works is that the more figures you get, the more forms you get, but the way it works is that it basically multiplies exponentially. So, the way to figure out how many possible forms you have is to take the number of figures you have and then multiply that number by itself. So, for example, with 4, we will have 16 possible forms, with 5, 25, and so on and so forth. And that really is the appeal here. It's a lot about playability over posability. And to some people that might be a deal breaker, but that's kind of how it was back with the older figures. Especially with those first 2 lines, the WFC and OCC figures. So this is really a lot of a throwback to that. It is unfortunate that they did have a bit of an oversight with the wings, so that you can only really have them work on HawkGatling form here, but at the same time that is something that gives you a bit of a bonus for making this best match. And besides that, they do look cool, and they do have some nice posability with the hinges. So if you're collecting the BCR figures, this is the point where I would say to start collecting. With 3 figures, if you buy them at the same time, you get 9 to start off with, and you only grow from there. So, if you haven't gone into the BCR series yet, and you want to, this is the point where I would say to start. Especially because we're going to be getting 3 new figures in November, so that will give you even more forms to create. Next time, I'll be reviewing the Deluxe Yokai Sniper this Thursday at 6 p.m. PST. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KR50, writing off.